at all that sand. It's amazing, right? In fact, it's so much, I don't know where to store it. Then I guess let us use it. Essentially what we're going to do is that we're going to make a ton more coke ovens. Not a ton, a bit more. Today is actually going to be a very resource intensive episode, and I'm just hoping that we have all the resources. Because if we manage to do whatever I want, we're gonna be filthy rich. You cook the bricks. I love this thing. It's amazing. Truly amazing. We also have a lot of plates. This might look like a lot of iron plates, but we're actually going to finish it in the next, I don't know, 5 seconds? Maybe a bit more than 5 seconds, because it does take some time to craft stuff. So what we want to be able to craft is one iron tank, which is going to be the max size, so it's a 9x9x8. A 9x9 means that it's going to need 80 blocks on the bottom, 80 blocks on the top. So far I have 90. Okay, that should be roughly 2 stacks more. 1 stack more, sorry. And I'm gonna need more screws. So obviously the max size tank that we're going to have is going to be for housing steam, so that we would be able to run our machines. We also have one more steam tank down there, which I have expanded it a few episodes ago, and we're going to use that one for creosote oil. So considering the fact that we need somewhere around 184 blocks in order to make a max size tank, I think we're good, because that's 3 stacks and 10. Also, these are our coke ovens, the new ones. And now what we want to try and do is that we want to try and make some of these boilers from GregTech or from GregTech++. Oh, LED is going to take a while, okay? It's okay, we do something else. Because do not be worried, this is GregTech New Horizons, there's always something to do. So these advanced boilers are going to need a tank, and that tank is going to need crushed obsidian, which is just a pulverization recipe. Also, if possible, I want to go with 2 boilers. I'm not sure if it's a good idea or not, but we will see. The first tier requires lead. The second tier, double stainless steel. Are you titanium? Yeah. Okay. Also, someone is having problems. Oh, we're out of steam. You see? That's why we're doing that. The problem is the hammer. It consumes a crazy amount of steam. I think even if you convert it into LV, which is something that we're going to do, it's still going to consume a ton of steam. The glass is ready. Nice. Yeah, maybe we should not run the hammer. We need some steam back. For some reason, it has to be thickened glass. How do you make it? Yeah, okay, that was kind of weird. You have to make the clear glass, then put it in your crafting grid and get thickened glass. And that goes in the smelter. I do have a feeling there is no way in the world that I would be able to make 2 advanced boilers at this very moment. So what we're going to do is that we're going to make one, then I'll make the second one, if we have materials left. Come on, I need one more. Thank you. So first things first. I was not expecting that for a boiler, but okay. The coal boiler, which we are going to use in the actual boiler, is relatively cheap. So that one I'm going to make 2. Oh, it's a double steel plate, you jerk. Just for these stupid pipes. Very good news, after a bunch of crafting, we have the second pump, and we're just missing the boiler chassis as well as a circuit. And yes, don't you worry, we were missing glass tubes, I made more. So here is the stupid circuit, we're just missing the boilers. Here are the tanks. I just did manage to make 4 steel tanks because yes, we are going to need 2 boilers and each one of them is going to need 2 advanced boiler chassis. I also got the quest for this, but I did not get a quest for an iron tank because these ones are steel. I just went from garbage to steel. Honestly, it's not really my fault. It wasn't just part of my quest. So how do we make you into iron? You need double iron plates. Yep, that's it. So this should be another quest. Good. Here is 1 chassis. The second one, and just to make sure the quest is going to count, yeah, you just need the thing, not the ingredients. So I guess there you go. So now we are relatively safe because we have 1 of them. Let's try to make the second one. These 2 boilers should be equivalent of having 6 of the advanced solar boilers, so they're good. Okay, as it turns out, we could, but it wasn't fun. So we have a bit of a situation. Yeah, you can put coal inside, you can put any type of burnable fuel inside, correct? I thought, what if we put a bucket of creosote oil inside, and well, that also worked. I mean, this fuel that you see which is burning, it's actually creosote oil. So now we have another question, can we pump it in because it ate my bucket? One very good thing about these boilers is that if it doesn't have any water, it's not gonna explode. So maybe for the moment we can put it here, just in case we give you 2 buckets of water. And I'm going to try and pump out the creosote oil. No, you can't pump it in. Was I dreaming? Because I put a bucket in. You see? Bucket is gone. So if that is the case, it's really not worth it, because at first I thought maybe we should move the coke ovens to our base and use creosote oil. Doesn't work like that. I'm going to make more water tanks for the boilers, but the problem is that I'm out of sticky resin. I'm incredibly lazy to gather it on my own and I want to buy it. The problem is I'm out of the coins. So I'm actually going to try and earn some money. Oh, this one grew. Nice. And unfortunately, the way that we want to earn money is not very ethical. Nobody eats. Oh, my particles are off. Come on, everybody makes babies. Even you two. Get to work. I have to kill 13 cows, 8 pigs, and I can claim the sheep. Okay. Nice. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, each one gives us 25. That's good. It has been a crazy amount of time later, and we have done some progress. So first off, now instead of going outside the base during a blood moon and go to our machine room down there, we have an access hatch down here, inside the base. It's not an access hatch, it will be. Secondly, we have 4 water tanks because I thought eventually we are going to have 4 boilers. And these boilers are just crazy and amazing. Look at all that steam, it's 3 million millibuckets. And I have also been constantly running the machines, so I don't know what's up with them. Down here in the basement, you might also notice that I have done a few changes. First off, we're going to have 2 macerators. They're cheap, amazing, but incredibly slow. We have 1 steam oven and I'm going to add another one over here. And the reason that this distance is 2 blocks instead of 1 is that later on we're going to replace it with a multi-smelter. I don't know, I think it's called a multi-smelter. Yeah, this one. But this is HV, so it could take some time. Also, up to the steam ovens from Railcraft, we're using Lash protein fluid pipes because they do consume a ton of steam. The rest is just like normal fluid pipes. The tank was supposed to be a 9x9, but it wouldn't fit in the trunk, so it's a 7x7. In other news, we're no longer doing great on resources because everything that I just did was incredibly expensive. Which I don't really know how we're supposed to afford the next part, but let us check. I want to automate our coke ovens, and we're going to need a ton of conveyor modules and electric pumps. The quest wants us to go with 10, but we are going with 16 coke ovens. Therefore, we're going to need like 16 conveyor modules and 16 electric pumps. I'm not really sure if we can do that. And when I say I'm very low on resources, I don't mean these guys. I mean steel. We have 39, we have 8 over here, and I think that's it, yeah. That was it. Although I did refill the blast furnaces, so we should have a teeny tiny bit here. 15. Actually very soon 20 in each one. Okay, that's 100 steel ingots. So what we need to do is that we need 17 conveyor modules and 16 pumps. Correct? Each conveyor module does require 2 electric motors, and each pump requires 1. So that's 34 plus 16, that's 50 electric motors. Well, the iron is not going to be a problem, but the rest is. You're gonna make plates, right? Yep. We do need a ton of tin cables, redstone we have, iron we have, copper wires I'm already making. So I guess every single time that tin cables are available, I have to buy them, which is every 20 minutes. Let us get the rest of our steel and it's okay, we can AFK a bit. Oh wow, I already have a pump. We just saved 1 motor. Actually, let us not do that, I get confused. You have no idea how many files I have made. And no, I'm not going to make a lathe. For the moment, it's very expensive and it's not going to help me that much. So 1 stack of magnetic rods, and at this very moment we can have 21 electric motors. Oh, we're just missing tin cables. Okay, I don't really want to waste my own rubber. So wait a minute, each one of these coins gives me 10. I can buy much more resin. And I do have an assembling machine. Circuit number 1. Process. I think you need around 50, yep. For 1 stack of resin, which is good. I was also hoping that I'm not going to use the steam machines anymore, but apparently I don't have a choice, we have to use the alloy smelter. So this could be a very stupid thing to do because we're going to consume much more steel, but I think we do have a much more efficient way of making rubber. The chemical reactor and the solidifier. The only problem that I have with them is that we need to have a total of 6 more circuits? No, sorry, 6 in total. Let us not waste anything. I can make 1, why? Oh, that stupid tube. There you go. That's 12. So we can have our 4 circuits, that is good. And since we are going to go with the more efficient way, we should be able to waste a few rubber. Because otherwise I have to wait for like 20 minutes. So ladies and gentlemen, our first chemical reactor, we wait for the quest. Thank you. And the solidifier. And obviously, you know, Basic steam turbines. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So instead of you, which is garbage, we can put the sulfur and the rubber dust inside. That should be not as fast as I was hoping, but at least it's going to give us 9 rubber bars, so that's good. I think. I don't know how many ingots that is, but that is the number of millibuckets that we're going to get. So that goes inside the solidifier, and voila, we get the sheets. Yeah, it's exactly 9 sheets. Okay, that's good. And it's faster. So where do we stand? I don't really know. Depends how much steel we have. Again, it's not that much. Good morning. So with the resources that we had, I did manage to make 54 electric motors. That means I should be able to make my 16 conveyor modules. These are for the coke ovens. Then we need to extract the coal from something, so we need one more. And just in case, one more. This is where we are going to have problems. No? So which one of you required steel? Oh, you're the piston. My bad. I think the only thing that we're missing for the pumps are the pipes. And remember, we just need 16? Maybe. Let's make 17, just in case. Oh no, we have 4 of them. So nice. Also, I'm gonna find that witch, and I'm gonna eat his face. You're that kind of witch. Seriously, we need a mob farm. Okay, as I have already mentioned, this time we're going to have 16 coke ovens. We can't put them in a row because that's going to be like 50 chunks. Instead, what we're going to do is that we're going to try and stack them on top of each other. Somehow. So I guess something like this should be fine. We're not crossing any chunk boundaries, and this is the wrong number. It's okay, we just move it by 1 block, then we're fine. There are going to be 4 on this platform, 4 on that one, 4, 4, and in the center we're going to have the tank. And whenever we're filthy rich, we're going to add a facade for it. And I think it's a good thing that it's going to be tall. We need tall buildings, a bit. So that once in a while we have something to look at. So yeah, something like that. That is a total of 16 coke ovens. And also for the first time I have completed this quest. I did make the small wooden fluid pipes, but we are actually going to go with bronze because I'm really not a fan of wood. However, I just realized doing the piping for that thing is going to take ages. We are going to need 1 item pipe in order to take the wood to the coke oven, and then we are going to need another one in order to take the charcoal to our storage, and obviously we are going to need fluid pipes for creosote oil. I was going to do everything from the center, but I don't think that's going to be possible, so how do we want to do this? We can have an item pipe, then fluid pipe so that they don't connect, and 1 more item pipe. I just realized I'm not carrying a wrench. So the main question is, do you connect? Okay, that's good. So as I have already mentioned, 1 pipe is going to be for extraction, like so, and this one for insertion. Oh, you also need to connect with a pump. Yeah, this is gonna take ages to configure. Actually, if I don't fall down, it's not gonna be that bad. Both sides are done and hopefully correctly configured. Because you know, this has to be on import and I haven't checked all of them. I should have, I know. But I know what you're thinking. How do we get down? The same way I got up, we just have to break a few blocks. Like so. And honestly speaking, it didn't take the number of pipes that I thought it's going to take. We have so much left. But one more thing, we also need to assemble a tank for holding the creosote oil because, well, first off, we're going to use it as fuel. And secondly, I think it's used in order to make lubricant. So I have just realized none of my tanks are going to be maximum size because they're going to cross chunk boundaries. And therefore, this one is also going to be a 7x7. I should fill this guy from the top, right? Ew, that's not great. That is actually fine because I think we should be able to do something like this. Once we have a facade for the building and the pipe, I think it's gonna look nice. Is it centered? I think it's centered. Also, instead of doing that, I could have just done this. And yes, we're good. The reason that I made the tank above ground is very simple. We need to have a few machines under it. Let's get some steel. And in order to power that machine, we are going to need a combustion generator. You are going to need a circuit as usual. And we're missing the casing. So here is your circuit. Here is your casing. We're out of wrought iron, which is perfectly fine. We're gonna purchase. So here is the LV machine hall, and then I think we need 2 gears. And don't you worry, I did see the pistons. We do have 1, so I just have to make a few motors and 1 piston. We are so short on everything that I had to buy more cables, but here is our first combustion generator. It's not a quest? Oh, it is. It should have been, I saw it. We also need 1 more barrel. Oh, and I forgot the most important item, the compressor. I'm so tired of crafting, I'm not gonna craft another compressor, we just take this one. Then maybe next episode I'm going to make another compressor. So I think here's how we're going to do this in order to keep everything symmetrical. Compressor goes here, one barrel to the right, and one to the left. It is going to make blocks of charcoal and it's going to export to the right, like so. And this barrel is going to be for inputting wood. I do understand that it's going to consume a bit more pipes, but that's fine. It looks nicer. It's just that now we should not mess it up. You're the one who extracts. So we want you to come from this side. Actually, I just realized I kind of messed it up. These are GregTech pipes, so I don't have to separate them. I mean, if you put them next to each other, they're not going to connect. Yeah, you see? We're good. So charcoal comes from the coke ovens, goes inside the compressor, and wood is going to come from the barrels and will go inside the coke ovens. I have pipes. I need a wrench. Well, I finished the piping. I guess let us see if it works. So oak is going to go inside this barrel and we need to extract it. Like so. Do you extract? You're not really extracting. Oh, it did. It went somewhere. We just need like a bajillion wood in order to fill it in. But just to finish it off, I do remember that you could power a combustion generator using creosote oil. I'm hoping that's still the case. And in the meantime, let us go get more wood. Just for testing purposes, we are going to try canopy wood because, you know, it's easy to chop it down. There was a deer on top. Yay, 2 of them were working. Did we get any creosote oil? That is the question. Oh yeah, we did. So you have power? Also, we kind of have to get 9 of them to see if the combustion generator is working. I know it was working before the updates. I'm not sure now. And the answer is yes, it does work. We have our first block. And this is what I was hoping. As long as we can make a block and get extra creosote, then we're doing good. Because creosote oil is actually a very garbage fuel. You don't expect it to last that long. So you spawn on snow. Aha. I found your weakness. Okay, we just finished it in time. Because we're out of fuel. I think I have more coal coke, but technically we're out. Can we get rid of some of these? Yeah, they're blocking my view. You know, stupid mobs spawn and I can't see them. It seems that I don't really know what I'm talking about. It's late at night. We had 20 more blocks of coal coke. So each one of them should give us 20 steel? No, I mean each 4 is going to give us 20 steel. But do you see what I'm talking about? It's tall enough. We can actually see it from the base. If we make a tower, it's gonna look nice. Also, you're a new food. We eat. We also need to cook one of them, and I do remember I saw a very important quest. If we take 10 diamonds and, you know, make a hammer, that should be a quest. Thank you, thank you. Put the venison in and then put the hammer in. We can cook it. Now, you can burn them for fuel for extra bit of craziness. I thought you meant a hammer. Do you mean diamonds? Ooh, interesting. So venison gives us methane gas. And that's it. We can't do anything else. Also, talking about food, I did break some of our water gardens, so we should be able to make a few new food. Oh, bamboo is a food? Beans and rice. Fruit punch. Because just in case you haven't noticed, since the start of the episode, we got our first green heart. That means the number of hearts is not capped at 20, at least it's 30. So where was I? This one? So many food I haven't tried. Okay, I think we're done. So I want to go on a very small session of exploration. You're still burning. What? You can smelt 512 items. Who needs coal? Anyways, I was going to say that I'm going to go on a very small exploration, and for that, we're going to need a few scoops to get bees. We can have one more? Good. Because I think durability is garbage. And I have also been thinking, we can afford better armor. How do you make boots? I have already stolen the hat, so we're good. We don't have any sort of fertilizer, so maybe some bone meal. Just in case I see an interesting fruit. And obviously my backpacks. I'm also not going to take the horse because it is going to be a liability and... oh, there's a village here. Maybe we go that way. Actually, we can claim you. Just to make sure that it's going to count later on. Oh, and by the way, a few minutes ago I did mention the water gardens, and I meant those guys. They also spread in the water. Let's take some steel, just in case we have to repair something. Oh, and by the way, the bee that we're looking for at this very moment is called a marshy bee. I was hoping we can find it in a jungle. And yes, by fruits, I meant these. And yeah, one is enough in order to make a sapling. Good. In this series, I have been exploring for a while, and this is the first time I saw one of these. Invar, sausage, and chrome. Nice. Also, if you're wondering why the hell am I killing all the animals, it's because I really want to upgrade our sword. I can't really fight the mobs yet. I was beginning to lose faith, but yeah, I think this is the one. Oh, nice. It's pristine. So you're going to give me mossy comb. Oh, it's the wrong one. So we want a silk wisp. That's silky propolis. Silky comb. Aha. And it comes from Tropical Queen. I always make the same mistake. So you guys know, in the villages there are these forestry huts, and inside them we should find some pollen, which is really good, and an extra scoop. And mainly this is what we were looking for, the apiary. We take it. Oh, and also the lavender. It looks nice. We only want to keep the pristine ones. If we want to play with genes, the other ones have a lower chance of survival. Actually, they have a chance of dying. Pristine ones don't. So you can actually trade with them. And some of these guys are amazing. This guy takes cactus fruit. You give me enchanted armor? I have no idea. What if we find a librarian and he sells us fortune? For the loot bags. Or I don't know, maybe protection for armor? But with that, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's also a good time to wrap up the episode. Next episode, maybe we are going to start with bees. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Till the next one, bye bye.